So, I've been trying to make this video for a long time. The first time, something went wrong and it got erased. I thought, oh, okay, well, it was kind of boring anyway. Second time, the bell rang and class started. I'd only gotten into it like a minute. So, third time's a charm, right? Right. We're going to graph. And I'm going to show you how to set up your graph for the Heating Earth's Surface lab. Hey, look. This is from our radiation lab. We did this in class today. So your Heating Earth's Surface graph is going to look a lot like this. So I'm going to erase this. You have the same piece of graph paper that we used for the radiation lab. And just like we did before, here's the paper right here. I'm going to count over 3 boxes, and then I'm going to make my y-axis. I'm going to count up 3 boxes, and then I'm going to make my x-axis. But I'm going to draw it really big right here so you can see it. Nice thing about your graph paper is that it's got all those lines on it, so you don't even have to, eyeball it like me, and you get the lines all crooked. I like to label my graph as soon as possible, title it, just because otherwise I'll forget. So for heating Earth's surface, what we're measuring is the change in the temperature of the sand and the water over time. We were checking the temperature every minute for, 20 minutes? So that's what I'm going to title my graph. I'm just going to make it really descriptive. Change in temperature of sand and water over time. Put it somewhere at the top. Hey, one thing I was doing today, I wasn't planning ahead, and my data started getting up into like my title, and I had my key up here. It's probably going to happen again. Learn from my mistakes. Plan ahead. Mr. Wiggin, maybe you should just put your title on there as soon as you're done with the graph. Then, you know where you're going to have room, and you know where your data is. Leave me alone. So we have our x-axis. Remember, that's this one down here. I'm going to go ahead and just label it anyway. And here's our y-axis up there. That's what I'll refer to these as, your x and your y. And down here, just like for our radiation lab, we want to label this axis time. And what were our units of time? Oh yeah, minutes. So I'm going to write minutes here in parentheses. Always want to put your units there. And on this one, temperature. What were our units of temperature? Degrees Celsius. So put that in parentheses right there. Now, how often did we check our temperature? We checked it every minute for 20 minutes. But I don't have enough boxes here, Mr. Wiggin. This is my graph paper. There's not 20 boxes. Oh my God. Should I just go up to 15? No. We can work with this. Just make every box 2 minutes. We can just do it that way. So we'll do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And we're good. What about temperature? Same thing. We don't have enough boxes, probably, to go 1 box every degree. So let's do the same thing. Let's just go up by 2 degrees every single box. And I'm not going to start at 0 down here. I'm actually going to start at 20 degrees down here. So right in the corner, I'm going to put 20. Oh, and you know what I didn't do on my time? I didn't put 0 in the corner for minutes. I'm going to make sure I do that. And every box is going to be 2 degrees. So 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40. You get the picture. Let's go ahead and go all the way. 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. Maybe we'll go higher. I don't know. And there you go. Hey, there's one other thing. I want to put my key on here before I start putting my data on here. My data, it's going to be all over. I'm gonna put my key up here, though. I'm going to hope that my data doesn't run into it. So what did I have? I had the can of water, the can of sand. So I have sand and water. I only have my black pen. Otherwise, you could do it in color. So I'm going to make sand just a solid line. I'm going to make water my dotted line. I'm going to put that in its own little box so it's easy to tell and distinguish between all the other stuff going on my graph. A lot of information going on here. And now we can start plotting our data. So I stole data from one of the groups. It looks, I don't know, reasonable to me, I guess. So it starts off at 0 minutes, the sand was 23 degrees. So what do? I find 0, and I go up, straight up the y-axis to 23 degrees. I'm going to make a little mark. At 1 minute, it was 25 degrees. So I go over to 1 minute, and I go up to 25 degrees. See that? So at 1 minute, I'm in between a box, right? I'm halfway in between a box at 1 minute. So I kind of got to follow that up and follow 25 degrees over, and that's where I'm going to put my mark. At 2 minutes, I'm at 26 degrees. Well, now I'm right on my line on your graph paper. So at 2 minutes, I'm going to follow that line straight up, and I'm going to follow the 26 line straight over, and I'm going to find where they meet. And you keep going on and on and on like that. I'm just going to throw some dots on here. Is that okay? I'm not actually going to use the data because that'll take too long. So here we go. I got, oh, look at all this good data. Oh, wow, this group was really doing a good, responsible thing when they got that data. Nice job, group. I got all my dots on there for my sand. And now's the fun part. Connect the dots. Start from the left and move to the right. Sand was going to be a solid line, so I just connect the dots with a solid line. Use a ruler. Make straight lines. And now, water. So, oh, good job, group. Here's your water data. Okay, I'm putting in all your data. Nice job. Fantastic. Now I get to connect the water dots. But I'm not going to use a solid line. I'm going to use my dashed line. Ta-da! And look at that. I've got a beautiful looking graph. That's fantastic. Hey, here's one that I did. It's a little bit different. But yeah. So, that's pretty much everything that I want you to have in a graph. You got to label the x-axis. You got to label the y-axis. You got to tell me what your units are. You got to give me a title for the graph, a descriptive title. You got to have a key so I know what the heck you're talking about on the graph. And also all your little numbers. I need to know, well, what's one box mean? Label all those things. Mr. Wiggin, what if I didn't want to put every single 2 degrees? Could I just put, 20, 30, 40, 50? Yeah, let's see why not. But make sure you count correctly. I know you're all really good counters, but some of you aren't. So just, make sure you count really carefully if you do it like that. Hey, if you have any questions, I don't know, just ask me in class. Don't email me. I get too many emails. Good luck. Good luck.